I'm Dr. Elaine Kasket, and this is my device mindfulness exercise. The idea behind this exercise is that for greater agency in today's world, we really need to develop the awareness and strengthen the skills to be mindful in the presence of our devices, not just in their absence, because our devices are everywhere. They're ubiquitous. So for this special device mindfulness exercise, take out your phone or take off your smartwatch and hold the object in your hands. Don't change anything about its usual settings. You do not have to turn on focus mode or silence it or turn it off or put it on airplane mode. You will be interacting with this object as it usually presents itself to you. And the reason I'm doing this audio recording for you is so your awareness can be focused on your digital device, not the words on a screen. If you're ready and you have your device, let's get started. I invite you to look at this object, which is perhaps your constant companion, with fresh eyes. This object may have become so integrated into your movements through your internal and external worlds that you barely notice it anymore. Now, intentionally, shift from your usual relation to a position of deliberate awareness, even of wonder or awe. The essence of mindfulness is awareness in the present moment without judgment. For the next few moments, I invite you to summon your curiosity and your noticing, but to suspend evaluation. You are in physical relation with this object. Be curious towards the item in your hands. Feel the materiality of it. Sense the places where its materials meet your skin. The metal, the glass, the fabric or material of any case. Perhaps materials you don't know exactly what they are. Which parts of you are in contact with it? And what sensations are there? Smoothness, roughness, coolness, warmth, edges, surfaces. If it's hard to tell sometimes where it ends and you begin, notice that. Feel the contours of this object as though you have found it in the wild and do not know what it is. How many of your senses can you bring to be aware of this object? Notice that there's only so much of it that you can see, that you can appreciate. It has this weight. It has an inside that's invisible to you. And with your eyes, you cannot see what these insides are or what they're doing. You are in a call and response, dialogical, interactive relation with this object. As you hold it, notice if it calls out to you. It may illuminate. It may vibrate or make a sound. It may present you with words or an image. It displays its colors. You may feel as though you are being urged to respond, to do something. Observe that sensation without following through. Notice what it's like not to follow through. Perhaps to suppress a reflex, an instinct. What sensations in your body do you notice in response to that reflex, that instinct? Where are those sensations? How do they feel? How strong are they? You are in an emotional relation with this object. It is a mobile, emotive device. What emotions do you notice flickering in you as you hold the object now? Fear, anxiety, guilt, pleasure, interest, temptation, relief. Do not follow these emotions into a narrative or memory. Simply notice them, name them if you can, if they have a name. Observe where the emotions register in your body. You are in a temporal, time-related relation with this object. Notice what is happening to time right now as you sit with it. Feel how even in this moment of stillness, the object may exert some kind of pull towards the future or towards the past. Time may feel like something has changed about it since this exercise began. Observe any pull or any change in your sense of time without doing anything, without following any impulse. We are now going to move from bare attention of the present to something more like reflection. Consider your temporal relation once more, but differently. You may have sat down with this object for a moment and surfaced to find that an hour had passed. Perhaps you were lost in a scroll or a feed or a loop, or perhaps you were absorbed in something, creating or learning or connecting, and the time wasn't lost, but rather well spent. Hold this object now and consider that you are cradling something that contains so much of your past while pulling you constantly towards the next moment. What emerges for you as you consider this? Return to the emotional. You noticed a moment ago those feelings flickering in the moment. And now let your mind follow the feelings into your history with this object. Sometimes it may have offered you an escape hatch from difficult emotions, hard conversations, other people, tedious moments, less stimulating environments. You may have taken that escape hatch. When did you last choose the object, knowingly or unintentionally, over someone or something physically present? When did you last turn to it for answers because you mistrusted or second-guessed yourself? When did you choose its simpler pleasures over something more complex? When did it last make you feel hollow and detached from yourself, from the world, from another person? And when did it last bring you joy or connection or fulfillment or all of those things? When did it help you or rescue you or even save you? Return to the dialogical, the interactive. A moment ago, you observed that call and response, the interaction, the pull to act, the reflexes I invited you to observe without responding. Now reflect on the history with this relationship. When has a vibration, illumination, call, notification interrupted a thought, a conversation, a moment of rest, and you responded before you had decided to respond? When has it brought you something you needed or craved? A loved one's voice, a welcome or useful piece of news, something interesting, a connection arriving at exactly the right moment. Return to the physical. You felt where this object meets your skin and used your senses to experience it. Now consider, when did you last reach for it without thinking, without awareness? When did it appear in your hand as though it had placed itself there? On the desk, in your pocket, in the car, on your person in your home, at your workplace, at leisure, this object has its accustomed places. How close to your body is it right now? Is this its usual level of closeness? Is it different? Is this contested? Is this difficult for you? Figuring out this closeness, which may be a comfort, a compulsion, or both. You are in an identity relation with this object. It's a mirror, kind of, but it reflects back a version of you that is both you and not you. It has learned your habits, your preferences and patterns. It may predict what you want before you want it. It serves you back to yourself through algorithms, recommendations, the curated archive of your photos, messages, searches, your whole history. What is it like to hold this thing that purports to know you, that calibrates to you in ways that both do and do not work for you? Technology functions in myriad ways for you individually, in particular ways. In some ways, it may deepen your experience, your consciousness. In others, it may fracture, fragment, and render you unintentional and unaware. Because this object is a tool like no other, we forget that it is a tool. We put it to use. Like a hammer, it can be used to build and can be used to damage. What have you built with it? What have you damaged with it? Imagine the complexity of this ongoing relation in all of its layers, the many things this single object is for you, and the many things it does to you and for you. What might be different if you were able to regularly, even habitually, mobilize this level of awareness about this object and your relations with it? What could change? How would you change? Now gently bring your attention back to the room. Observe the object in your hands once more with as many senses as you can. Its weight, its surfaces, its appearance, its other qualities, perhaps even its smell. When you are ready, set it down.